How's it going, guys? Managing here back with some more Nightmare Cup battles with my good buddy Matthew. Again, really awesome guy, but without further ado, let's just get on to the battles here. So going into game one, I start off with my Zatu. He starts off with the Shiftry, and it's a pretty evenly matchup. Shiftry just doing massive damage with Razor Leaf, so again, watch out for that. And yeah, just Razor Leaf just being stupidly OP. I go with the Aerial Ace. He, of course, is going to shield that, which is the right call for him to do. My Zatu is just able to take on his Shiftry with the fast moves, and I'm trying to see what he brings out next. Brings out the Raichu, but unfortunately, Raichu's just going to destroy Zatu. So here I'm deciding what I want to bring out next, and I bring out the Poliwrath. Probably not the best choice for this one, mainly because that Alolan Raichu can charge up Thunder Punch so quickly. But yeah, so I end up shielding that here because I know exactly that's what's coming. And we're just trying to go to town. Hopefully try to burn his last shield, but again, he gets that Thunder Punch off, and I got to shield that. So I burned both my shields now, and just going for a Power-Up Punch. Hopefully he'll shield this, or he'll let it go through. And he ends up shielding that, and I end up switching to my very own Alolan Raichu. He brings out Thunder Punch, just a small bit of lag there, and we're just trying to go to town and hopefully see who can get to the Thunder Punch first. He ends up getting his first again, and again, with no shields, I can't block that. So just trying to do as much damage as possible. Now here I have the Wild Charge ready to go, so I believe that I use the Wild Charge here, thinking that Matthew is assuming that I'm going to use Thunder Punch. But again, a little bit of lag there, so we'll go with the Wild Charge, just doing a massive amount of damage to that Toxicroak. But he's able to take down my Alolan Raichu, and I bring back the Poliwrath, and just doing a little bit of lag here, as you can see. But unfortunately, because of that, he's able to get off his Mud Bomb first, taking down my Poliwrath. So, but yeah, so even though there was lag, good game to you, Matthew. Again, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. So, on to the next game here. We are going to start off with, what did I start off with again? Start off with Shiftry. So yeah, Shiftry is probably going to be a go-to for sure when it comes to Nightmare Cup. So Shiftry just doing, again, massive damage with their Razor Leaf against that Spiritomb. It's ridiculous how much damage it does. And I decide to let this go through. Even though Ominous Wind doesn't do as much damage as it should. It did pretty good amount of damage there. But I take down his Spiritomb, trying to see what he brings out next, and he brings out the Alolan Raticate. I go with the Foul Play. Probably should have gone with Leaf Blade there, but it didn't really matter because he ended up blocking that. And yeah, just Raticate, just going to town on Shiftry there. So I ended up bringing on my Toxicroak just to go over to his Raticate. And I actually thought I knocked out his Raticate here, but I guess it didn't. So he brings out his own Toxicroak. I go with the Mud Bomb. He's going to shield that, and that's pretty much what you're going to do in the Toxicroak mirror match, is that you're just going to pretty much shield each other's Mud Bombs. So as you can see, I shield his there. I go with another Mud Bomb. He doesn't have any shields left, so this is going to go through. And here's where I forgot that he ended up switching out that Raticate, but didn't really matter because that Raticate didn't have any health left. So I end up taking game 2 there. So again, good game, Matthew. So again, just really awesome guy. So on to the next game here. And we are going to start off with our... What do we start off with? We start off with Shiftry again. Again, I should know this. But Shiftry against Claydol. And again, this is a really good matchup for us here because, again, just Razor Leaf doing so much against the Claydol, especially since Claydol is also part rock. Just couldn't get anything off. And I have that Leaf Blade ready to go here. And goes with the Raichu. I go with the Foul Play. I'm pretty sure he's going to shield this unless he's... So he actually lets it go through. That's my fault. I believe he thought I was going with Leaf Blade, but Foul Play just does insane amount of damage there. He brings out Toxicroak, destroys my Shiftry. I bring out Zatu, and I end up shielding this for Mud Bomb. I was thinking Sludge Bomb, I should say. I was thinking he was going to use that, but it didn't really matter. I ended up taking the win there. So that was a pretty quick game 3 here. So we're getting ready for our 4th match. And going to match 4, we start off with the Drapion, which is my first time actually using Drapion for Nightmare. I've seen him talked about and stuff, but I've never actually used him until now. So just doing a little bit amount of damage to that Toxicroak, and I switch out to my Zatu, and I decide not to block this thinking Mud Bomb, but that's Sludge Bomb. I kind of forgot that Toxicroak could know that, so I end up going with Aerial Ace, and I believe he blocks this here. Yeah, so just trying to do as much damage as I can, and here I end up bringing... still deciding, but I believe I bring out Toxicroak here. Yeah, so I end up shielding his Mud Bomb just because I knew that was gonna... I figured that was coming, and just doing, taking down his Toxicroak here. And yeah, so we hit a little bit of lag here. So yeah, this was the part I was talking about. Just a little bit of lag brings out his Alolan Raichu. I go with Mud Bomb because I know it's going to do massive amount of damage. And as you can see there, he didn't shield that, so I'm surprised as to why he didn't shield that. Maybe he thought I was gonna bluff him or something. Goes with that Thunder Punch, but I take him down with the just the counter, and I go with another Mud Bomb here. Knowing that's going to be super effective against Metagross, but he ends up shielding that and trying to go for another Mud Bomb, but he ends up taking out my Toxicroak with the Meteor Mesh here. So, but it's okay because I have the Drapion with that Aqua Cell ready to go from building up the energy earlier, and just takes down his Metagross there. So, yeah, so Drapion's a really good choice. I don't know if I'm going to put it on my final team or not. I need to do some more testing with him. So, on to the next game here. This is going to be a familiar matchup, but in the opposite direction. I start with Spirit Tomb. He starts up with Shiftry, and if you guys remember earlier on, I destroyed his Spirit Tomb with Shiftry, and it's pretty much happening to me now. So I go with the Ominous Wind, and he ends up letting that go through because, again, it's not really going to do that much damage. And yeah, I just try to do as much damage as I possibly could. So now I'm trying to debate between my own Shiftry or Hitmonchan. I go with Hitmonchan, and he ends up charging up his move. I blocked this, thinking of Leaf Blade, but it was Leaf Blade, but it was foul play. But really can't do much. I try to switch there after he switches, but I guess I wasn't quick enough on the switch there, and I don't know exactly what happened, but I was able to get the switch off there. Go with the Shiftry. He brings out another Thunder Punch, going to do a good amount of damage to me, but Shiftry again just able to take down his Alolan Raichu. And again, we're just tapping away. He brings out Toxicroak. I go with the Leaf Blade just to see how much damage it could do, but he ends up shielding that. So right now, at this point, I'm like pretty sure that I'm boned here. So he ends up shielding that, and we're just gonna go with another Power Up Punch, try to do as much damage as possible. But it doesn't really matter because I was pretty bad matchups on my part there. So good game, Matthew. And we're going on to which is going to be, I believe, the final game of this video. And that's going to, yeah, so let's get right to it. So we're going to start off with Toxicroak to his Toxicroak. So if you come across this matchup, it's basically who can get to their Mud Bomb first. And mine's charged there, but he was able to get his. I don't know how the game decides who gets to use their charge move first. Yeah, so when it comes to, again, the mirror match here, you just, basically, you're going to end up shielding the Mud Bomb. So I tried to switch there, as you can see. Again, didn't go through for whatever reason, so I had to switch this Mud Bomb here, but the switch does go through with the Xatu, and he's gonna stay in. And I have no shields, and again, I forgot that that Toxicroak can know Sludge Bomb, so not the best switch in my opinion there. So just trying to do whatever damage I can. He brings out Claydol. I go with that Ominous Wind. Just to get, a good amount of damage, but he blocks that. I bring out my Shiftry because I know Shiftry is going to just run through that Claydol, even, because it's just, Shiftry is just OP. This is literally one I'm going to use on my team for sure. Brings out that Umbreon, Leaf Blade doing a good amount of damage for what it is. And again, just, I can't say how much, OP Shiftry is. Just ridiculous. So he uses that foul play, and I charge up my Leaf Blade. And that's going to be GG for Matthew. So, again, awesome battles, man. And, again, I'll be posting up more videos like this later on. And thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.